Well, alright, the Thursday the 12th release just hit, and staff brought back all the old Mason forms as well as the Death Arrows cats. So let's check those out. Mason form is known for having the strongest choke in the game. They also brought back all the predatory vampire and the savage werewolf forms. I don't recommend getting those. At one point in time, I think some people thought they were the best armors in the game, but that was a few years ago. So basically, you have all your Mason forms, and they come with a they come with a choke, but they have all 8 elements available in Mason form now. And then I'll talk about which ones that I think people should get here shortly. They also brought back the Death Arrows cats. Let's see here. So you got the original, the darkness one. You have a light, earth, wind, energy. I guess that's all. Is that all 8 elements? Yeah, that's all 8 elements there. A little bit of confusion though. The Beachgoer Death Arrows cat is water, but over here, let's see, the Mason form that's water is not Beachgoer. It's actually energy. Let's see if I can find it here. So that the Beachgoer Mason form is energy. So it's a little bit weird. And then the other item that they brought back is, I think, the Krieger Claws. You have the original Darkness one here in the rare shop. I guess there was what? Let's see. I don't see a lot of the Krieger Claws here. There's an Earth one there. I think I saw an Energy one as I scrolled. The Krieger Claws basically inflict sleep, which is not a very popular status. It is basically like Panic and Bleed. It stays until the monster removes it. But sleep is paralyzed, but it stays until the monster removes it. Typically, sleep has an unfavorable save to the player, or it would be probably a little bit overpowered. I think I own the Water Mason, but I did grab the Fire one this time. Getting blown up here. Yay for initiative. Alright, let's see here. I wanted to try to demonstrate. Hopefully, I may get blown up again. Let's see what happens. Alright, so the way this works is you have your imbue. The issue with the armor, though, is you're not going to actually use it to attack, because it doesn't get any kind of special attack. It's just pretty normal. So what you want to do is you want to find a high damaging armor. I will just use Wing Weaver, and then you want to find a high damaging weapon. You want a damage buff. I don't run a lot of damage miscs, so what I'm going to actually do is I'll just run Optico for my damaging misc because it has luck, and then I'll run booster pets here. And then I'm going to use Time Killer to boost my Lucky Strike rate to 100%. And then I'm going to dismount. And then I'm going to use Tropo Shield. Now, I think the best Mason to get is Fire overall, and then Earth, and then energy. The other ones, I'm not so sure. A few stacks that you can use with it, because the choke scales with damage. So the more damage you do, the more the choke is. And it also is normalized versus monster resistance, like the jelly pets. So for example, I could hit versus 5% element or 200% element, and it will turn out to be the same amount of choke. So that's why Mason armors are desirable. I think the fire has the best overall stack. Tropo Shield, obviously, Elevon is fire, energy, and earth. And then you have the Celestial Phoenix Feather for Rangers that also does fire, Elevon in a misc. And then you have Ramsey and Lust for luck builds. So your total damage is pretty insane. Earth is number 2, I think, on the list because it also has the Earth version of the Pet and Guest here. But it does not really have any like Elevon miscs like Fire does, even though the Fire one is limited to Rangers. But Earth is included in Tropo Shield. Then you have Energy, which is included in Tropo Shield also, and that's why I like Energy. For those that want to try to run Dark Invader has a Fire and Earth Energy Elevon, so that's another stack on with Fire, and then it's something else you can use with Energy. So for those that are don't want to buy all of the Masons, I would recommend Fire, then Earth, then Energy, personally. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the damage. This is going to do, it's probably going to kill the monster. I'm going to see if we can see the choke amount before it dies here. So the monster's dead, but it's too much. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go over to Combat Practice Trainer just to kind of demonstrate what kind of choke we're talking about. So again, we need to imbue. Some people don't mind using an armor slot to access this, but just keep in mind that you're probably not going to actually attack with the armor. It's just not going to do enough damage to affect anything. So I'm actually going to use my damage buffs here. So we did Zfinity. I need to do one time killer to guarantee lucky strikes. Let's go Arcane Amp for some stat damage. And I think that should be it. And I'm using Optico for more luck, just because I'm going to be lucky striking here. So I did just shy of 5,000, and it was 5 rounds for 0.06 choke. Now, if his fire resistance was 10%, it would still turn out to be 0.068 choke, because it's measuring the amount of damage over normal damage. So, and then it's modified by the resistance. So that's why as long as the resistance isn't negative, that's why it's okay to use. And even if you're fighting against a monster that's attacking you with something other than fire, it's fine, because the choke amount is so strong that, as you can see, it's not going to be doing any damage back to you. So 2 rounds and it's 9,000 hit points. So I want to actually try to really quick let's try to find an armor that has really bad resistances. I don't know of one. I mean, a monster. I don't know if one off the top of my head that I can get to really quickly. So, alright, so let's try and see if we can get the Shadow Cyclops. It's Prime Chaos Orb, and maybe we can get fire to 40% here. Okay. So Prime Chaos Orb is still some luck. I can't use Affinity this time. So we have 40% fire, so it's not going to be nearly as high damage, obviously, but the choke should still be pretty good. 15%, as you can see. So it's normalized versus the resistance. So what it's doing is it's measuring damage versus expected damage. And so whenever you're doing these damage buffs like that, it's still going to provide the choke. So even though my armor is not very defensive versus light and darkness, it won't matter now for a few turns, because of basically the monster's only doing 15% of its total damage now. But there's there it is in a nutshell. Just wanted to showcase why everyone likes Mason.